One time.
Testing, HIV.
Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Welcome back to another episode of the Perspective Podcast. Today I'm joined by a good friend of mine, a good friend, teammate, homie, neighborhood homie. Like it go way back, way back. And so tonight I'm joined by my boy Tevin. Tevin, what's good?
It's good, man. It's good to be here. You know, it's been a long time coming for this.
Yeah, man. We've been supposed to knock this episode out. And, you know, that's mostly on me for scheduling and stuff like that. But we're going to get it better. We're going to get it right. But glad to have you here in the spot tonight. So we're going to go ahead and chop it up a little bit. So first, T, just give the people like a little bit of background. You know, like where you from, where you went to school, like what you all into?
Oh, man, background. Right here from LA. You know, grew up, born in Woodside, moved over here to Deerfield. Went to schools I went to Horseshoe, went to Brain, then went to Ash. Pretty much just, you know, normal little life. No too big, but always in the sports, you know, hooping. Obviously, that's what I did ever since I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
Just hooping, playing baseball, try football. Wasn't for me.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, man. Just trying to chase this little sports dream I got, you know. And I'm just here. Appreciate you having me.
No doubt.
Yeah, man.
Yes. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, basketball is another thing that really just kind of like tied us at the hip, besides being from growing up in the same spaces.
Yeah.
So what was like your intro to ball? Like, what was the intro?
I remember. It was crazy. I remember I was at the crib. I was like 4 or 5, and my brother and them was hooping outside. And my cousin was like, "Man, let's go outside with them." We were playing games. Like, let's go outside. So I was like, "All right." Went outside, and I just remember my cousin shot a shot. The ball landed, it rebounded, and I was standing there, landed right in my hands, and I felt it, and I was like, "Man, this just felt right at that age." And I just knew I was like, "Man, basketball was something that I was gonna be doing."
Yeah.
I was gonna be doing something with my life for basketball, and the rest of it. So that's when I got it, and after that, I got addicted.
Yeah.
With video games, with hooping, watching old games and stuff like that, watching the games all day, man, and then I just fell in love with it.
Same. No, that's something that I tell people a lot too. They'd be like, "Why are you watching some games that you already know the results to?" And it's like, if you're not from the fabric, then you're really not gonna get it.
Right. You're not.
Like, it's so many things that happen in the course of a game. Just off the top of my head, I think of Kawhi's triple bounce. You know what I'm saying? Like against the Raptors. But a lot of people forget about the previous minute and 30 that happened before that.
To lead to how we got to this situation.
Exactly. Or like the Ray Allen 3, when some of us remember like the ropes being brought out and they were wheeling the trophy out before that, and the crazy floater Tony Parker had before that. Like
the fact that LeBron made 2 threes before that to get them into that position, and people talk about stuff, and they be like, "Man, you missed." It's a lot to take you to get to certain points, and people to be missing it. But
straight up. So you know what I'm saying. So sports, you know what I'm saying, brought you from the crib, and then graduated of LSU.
Almost.
Okay. We're going to speak, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and say it.
Go ahead and speak that into existence.
Exactly. Graduate of LSU. And you know what I'm saying? I understand we got some other things going on too. And so that's going to work out. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? How it's supposed to. So, and so just, I know you're, of course, you're a big basketball fan, and you rock with the Blazers.
Yes, sir.
So what brought you to the Blazers? And I'll tell you what brought me to the Blazers too.
Brandon Roy.
Yeah, see.
Ever since I saw him in college, 2003 he started, I saw his game, I was like, this dude is different. I'm like, he do everything. I'm like, he is shooting guard, but he pass, he rebound, he play defense, he can score anywhere on the court, and I was like, man, that's how I want to be. I want to be somebody that do everything. I just don't want to be in the box. And so I was like, okay, I like him. He was a dog in college. Like, I'm following him.
Yeah.
Then he got to Portland, and I was like, okay, well, that's just gonna be my team. I mean, I liked them when they had because on the game you used to play with Portland and score, and you can beat anybody because they had Rasheed and they had Stoudemire and Derek Anderson.
Yep.
They had
Mighty Mouse.
Right. They had all those different people. Bonzi Wells. I'm like, man, you could really score with anybody. So it was easy to play with on the game. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to rock with the Blazers. And Brandon Roy, ever since he got there, I was like, I've been stuck. Even when he left, we had LaMarcus was still there. We got Dame now and CJ. So I'm like, I've been in a good place. We ain't been winning no championships, but I've been happy as a fan. I've been excited. My games have been exciting. That's all I'm caring about.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's I remember those teams. They had the older Darius Miles. They had Darius Miles here after the injuries. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy how they tried to pair Darius Miles and LeBron in Cleveland too, but young LeBron. But that's a whole different topic. But yeah, the Blazers. Those that was definitely my squad. Like Perk could tell you, Kia could tell you, Said could tell you. Like NBA Live, I'm running with the Blazers. Those are my boys.
Live and 2K.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm running with the Blazers. Those are my dogs. Brandon Roy, like you say, he scored from every single level.
Right.
And it's nothing flashy about his game. He really just go out there and just serve you buckets.
He could be flashy, but he could be flashy. He could be the one jumping, dunking. He was unexpectedly, but he played it like more cerebral. Mm-hmm. And I was just watching him. I was like, man, if he wouldn't have got hurt right after Kobe, I was like, him and D-Wade was gonna be them two shooting guards. And before we got the Harden, and I was like, him and D-Wade was gonna be battling for who the best shooting guard, because he had made all NBA already. Yeah, and in his 4-5 years before.
Yeah, he was, and it's just sad how it ended with all those injuries. Like, majority of my players just always go out like that. Brandon Roy, T-Mac, Derrick Rose, all my guys always just end up with like knee injuries. The only one that really just kind of made it through was AI. But AI, he had his other issues. Yeah, he had other issues going on. But yeah, so and another thing about the Portland thing that really just it really just breaks my heart, because I'm a Bulls fan, but I've always loved Brandon Roy. Mm-hmm. And the trade that we made on draft night, which was y'all drafted Tyrese Thomas. And we drafted LaMarcus Aldridge, and we swapped. And we swapped.
I want to say whoever the Bulls owner was, thank you. I love you. You did such a great job with the Blazers' advancement as an organization with that pick. I mean, we made bad picks too. I mean, a couple years down the road, it just happened. You know, a dude named Kevin Durant is playing. You know,
y'all take
in Texas, and we take the big, tall center when we already had LaMarcus Aldridge under the goal already, and we could have had we would have had at least 3 rings.
Yeah, y'all.
We would have drafted.
Yeah, especially at that point in time, whenever it was that was kind of like the end of the.
Well, that was the end of the Spurs.
Yeah, I was about to say
that was the Spurs' last championship. So that little time, that's when the big three with the Celtics got together,
started to form. Yep.
Yeah, and then the Lakers. One after that,
the back end,
that little
Shaq and Powell. Kobe and Powell.
Yeah, that little part in time, that fight you would have had to weather that little 5 years or whatever for Durant to develop. But after 2000, it have been 11 after Kobe won that second one. Like
it was wide open.
Who would have beat a team with Aldridge and Durant? And if Brandon Roy got hurt, but if he didn't get hurt, a big three like that, nobody beat him. Right,
and all off of the draft.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that definitely would have been something special. And the Riesendorf family in Chicago just doesn't love any of us.
Look, I know, because I cried. I was like, wait, Durant? We could. Oh, yeah. When after the couple of twos in the season played out, I said, oh, yeah, we
messed it up.
Go down in history.
We messed it up. Right.
You know, it happens.
So just kind of like recapping last NBA season, which it literally was a calendar year for the season. The season started on time in October of 19. It started like October, November of 19, and then the season didn't even end until it feels like yesterday. The season.
So it had to be. They said 70 days since it started. So whatever 70 days was from Christmas, pretty much.
I think that's got to be like September. Yeah, September, Octoberish. So it's this NBA season definitely did make a full calendar year due to COVID. And the NBA, they implemented the bubble. Yeah. With the bubble being here, the bubble is like we can talk about mental health issues and things of that nature too. But the bubble, it seemed like it sounded weird at 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Like you taking all these professional players, you put them on one centralized location, like an AAU tournament, and they can't leave the premises.
Right.
For me, I love that kind of setting because I feel like I like being around competition.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to be in the presence of competition too. So therefore, like, I'm always working. Like, we always because I always think about that too. Like, what would Kobe have done? Kobe had done in the bubble. Like, what mental edge would he have had in the bubble?
Mm-hmm.
Like, some people, they're starting to talk about the bubble now, and they said you could see Braun riding his bike. He would ride his bike around the bubble, and other players would just kind of be like, because it's still that shock value. Not shock value, but we're at the age where it's Braun is big homie.
Mm-hmm.
Dudes behind us are looking at Braun like, that's GOAT. Like, he been hooping since they was little.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we kind of grew up with Braun in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So the younger players in the league, they were just saying like how it's like, it was just kind of like surprising for them to see Braun just kind of around, just like riding his bike and things of that nature. So I'll often think about like what Kobe would have did to just get mental advantages because he's cerebral with everything. So tell me your thoughts about the bubble. Like how did it all pan out?
The bubble. The idea of it was crazy at the beginning when you heard about it, but then once you seen how it was implemented and how easily it was done, you was like, oh, that was a great option to do it, how they did it.
Yeah.
Because basketball, it's only 12, 15 people on the team. So you can control the people a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
It's a lot less people than pretty much any other sport.
Mm-hmm.
And the sport, fans, that's one thing I know we're going to talk about that, how the fans, with the virtual fan and stuff, but like, it shows you that fans kind of don't matter as much as we think they do, as far as the viewer's perspective. Because when you're watching it, you don't watch. You hear the fans and like, they be crunk and wild or whatever, but you're watching for the actual game,
the entertainment.
Yeah, then that's what the entertainment comes down to. So they did a good job with the isolating people and just putting that bubble together because we didn't have nothing. Like, if the NBA ain't been playing, nobody watched baseball this year. Football, it was up in the air. That was coming back. So the NBA, they did a good job as far as implementing the bubble, and then also visually, like how they did it. They still implemented the fan interaction with the virtual fans. That was good.
That was cool.
But I also saw like how you was speaking about like what Kobe would have done. You could kind of see the players who were focused. Yeah. Like, if you watch the game, you saw what players were locked in to, like, okay, we here. Let's try to win the championship, or let's get to the playoffs, and then whatever happens. Since we all here, we just hoop. Now we just hoop. Yeah. Ain't no distractions. I can't go to the club. My girl ain't here. My mama ain't here. Child support payments. I ain't getting bothered. She ain't pulling up on me or nothing like that. So it's like your mind is pretty much free at that point in time to just focus on what you got to do at hand. And I think the person that you saw, it was a couple people that tapped into that, like, that you saw what they performed to, like Lillard, Murray, Mitchell, and then ultimately, like, you saw how LeBron, how he played, was like, you can tell his mind was, it was on basketball. It was, I'm going to win this basketball tournament. That's pretty much what it was. It's a basketball tournament. And he was like, I'm gonna just win it since I'm here. Yeah. And so he took it serious, and a couple teams and players didn't, as you saw. Yep. But it was good. It brought out a competitive edge in certain people, like, especially with that mental aspect. Once your routine is broken like that for months, like, that's hard. Like, we see it during COVID. Like, we can't even do certain stuff. We can't go certain places, but they really couldn't leave a location, premises for a couple months. And so I liked it. I thought it was real good. The competition, you saw a lot of breakout players, and I think that just going to push the league forward as far as the far as the development of their younger stars, because
Yeah.
you saw a lot of players like shine. So I think the league, once these older players, once LeBron finally leave and whoever else has been in the league for 12, 15 years, once they start to dwindle out, you're going to see how that little bubble experiment right there, how that's going to affect the development of the players going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, and you bringing up like the player development too. That's something that I did notice. Like, some unexpected players from Toronto still did they thing. You know what I mean? Like OG, I don't know how to say his last name. It's like Anunoby or something like that. He definitely stepped up. I saw a lot from the Magic in the bubble last year whenever they played against the Bucks. They got eliminated in the first round, but fast forward to now, you can see how that definitely helped. And shout out to Markelle Fultz to getting that extension.
Right.
But yeah, you're definitely right. You did see some different players that were locked in. And I got to give somebody some flowers here, because I used to shit on this man a lot on the timeline. But I got to give KCP some love. I got to give KCP some love, because he really, I definitely just got to show KCP some love, because what he did in the bubble this year, it was definitely something that I didn't see coming. During the regular season, pre-COVID, he was out there bricking layups, just airballing wide open jumpers on the regular basis, not like once every now and then. But yeah, salute to KCP. You got that chip. Salute to Deion Waiters. Was going to get a chip either way it go. So, yeah, I just wanted to salute them. And so Lakers eventually became champion. Mm-hmm. They didn't lose much. And they added Montrez, sixth man of the year. They added Dennis Schroeder, runner-up to sixth man of the year. Added Marc Gasol. They re-signed Kuzma, but I think that's a lot of gas for trade bait. They brought AD back. I don't think anybody expected him to go anywhere. So just with this new Lakers roster that's been assembled here, with pretty much all the same pieces are still in place. Are they like your favorite to repeat, or they the repeats in your mind, or you got somebody else in mind?
In my mind, absolutely they are. If they play to the level that I know that their talent is capable of playing to. As long as Frank Vogel he has to do an even better job of coaching this year. Yeah. Last year, I feel like it was more LeBron. You saw it, LeBron was kind of controlling the offense and stuff like that. But they played great defense. They had shooting, like KCP stepped up with the shooting in the bubble and like with the energy. So this year,
Morris twin too.
Oh yeah, he made shots last year.
Critical shots. I never thought.
Looked like the better Morris brother. You know, the other one averaged almost 20.
Yeah,
but he looked like the better one. Yeah, I think if they get the correct formula as far as to how they have a certain way of how they want to play, like what their sets and what they're gonna do, like use their strengths. If they use their strengths to their advantage, it ain't nobody that can beat them. Yeah, because you got now. This is one thing I don't like, though. I don't like how they're starting Schroeder at point guard. I, myself, would rather go back to how it was done last year. Put LeBron at point guard. Let him start there. Find you either let Wesley Matthews start or go find you another guard. Or go find you another guard that's small, that can shoot threes, and that can defend point guard. Yeah. Because that's going to be their biggest problem. All these point guards that's doing whatever. But last year, they got away with it because they had the size with Danny Green and KCP and
Rondo leading the floor.
Rondo coming off the bench. He could guard some point guards.
Rondo knocked down jumpers.
Right. And Caruso played good too last year.
Did.
And now he almost not in the lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, like he could barely find any minutes.
Right, he got put back on the bench. So if they just use their strengths, because like the game I watched yesterday, I watched the highlights of it, and I saw that they did use Gasol, like how I wanted them to use Gasol in game one with his passing, his shooting, his posting up. I'm like, that's somebody who can average 12 and 10 easy. 12, 10, and 4 easy. 4 assists easy. I'm like, if they use his passing with LeBron's passing and cutting and Anthony Davis cutting and rim runs and Trez off the bench giving energy, just blocks, rebounding.
Just doing what he do.
Right. Like, and Kuzma, like, if you saw him play yesterday, he was just cutting off the passes. And I like what he said. He said, when we signed him, I went and watched tape of him. And I saw how good of a passer he was. I'm like, okay, that's somebody who locked in and want to get better.
Yeah.
Who wants to find out how to fit and within this offense and just, make the best of his situation. He's like, I know everybody know he's young. He want to score 25 points a game. But he like, look, I'm winning championships. Let me fit in and just get what I can get right now. Mm-hmm. And so I'll just fit in like that. But, man, if they can just play to their strengths, like that size, that passing, on the inside, nobody should be able to stop them from getting, easy points in the paint. So if they use that, they make some shots. Yeah. I ain't asking Wes Matthews to be Clay. Not asking KCP to repeat last year. Just make some shots.
When it count, show up.
Right. But they can play two different styles. But they can play slow and fast with that Schroeder.
Absolutely.
He can push the tempo too. That's great. And guards can't stay in front of him. So that's real good. So they can play two different ways, in my opinion. And they, hands down, should be the favorite. Yeah.
And so, you know what I'm saying? And I definitely do see the Lakers being a favorite as well, because it's just, I feel like they just got it figured out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the season's not over. You know what I'm saying? It literally just started about a week ago. And so I expect to see them make some moves, make some pieces, pick up somebody here, pick up somebody there. And Darren Collison is still somebody out there that's just kind of on the fence about coming back or whatever the case may be. But
Markel Brown's still out there too. Shout out to 318 native Markel Brown.
Shout out to Kel.
Guard. Great athlete, great defender. Can make threes, Lakers. If y'all hear this.
Facts. So go ahead and pick up Markel. You know what I'm saying? We need to hang that jersey here in the town. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's the Lakers are definitely still like my favorite here, and the runner-up in which we didn't see, I wouldn't even call them they're not runner-ups because the Nuggets were the runner-ups, but the Clippers. And the Clippers that went through the most, not the lesser, since the bubble ended. It ended up being like beef, like between certain players. Felt like PG and Kawhi was giving favoritism, and if you've read the articles, then you know what's out there with Kawhi living in San Diego and flying names and practices. It's crazy, and like PG just whatever life PG is living, and. So some players just didn't take a liking to it, and on top of that, Doc Rivers moving on to Philly,
right?
And they have a championship coach in Ty Lue. He's definitely got that championship DNA with Laker days and championship with the Cavs. You know what I'm saying, as a coach, and so how you feel about the Clippers this year? As last night wasn't a good representation at all. They got beat by 40, 50? Yeah, they got beat by 50.
They were down 50 at half.
Yeah,
I've never seen that before
in an NBA game. It's the craziest thing I've ever read in my life. I thought I was tripping whenever I looked at the scoreline. But yeah, how you feel about the Clips this year?
This year, I'm even more down on them than I was last year.
They lost a lot.
Yeah, and last year I at least had them. I was like, okay, they're at least the second or third best team, because I thought they could have beat anybody except the Lakers. Mm-hmm. So I was like, they either second or third in the West, and looking at their roster, I'm like, y'all lost too much and didn't replace it with enough. How do you?
Luke Kennard.
Yeah, I'm like, you lost Montrezl Harrell. Last year he averaged 19 or 20 for y'all. Y'all replaced him with Serge Ibaka. Okay, yeah, he averaged 14 or 15 for Toronto. That's still 5 points, but y'all. So now Serge is in y'all starting lineup, and y'all moving Zubac to the bench, but he was a starter last year. So I'm like, who's gonna replace that bench production? Is it because I don't see Zubac, Big Zoo, making no noise in the NBA, no time soon.
No time soon.
If ever. He ain't making no real noise. Y'all got Reggie Jackson on the team, which is a waste of a
spot.
Yeah, waste of a spot because he don't do nothing great. He does something, but he does some things good enough, which is terrible as an NBA player.
I need you to do more.
Right. So they got him. I said Luke Kennard. If he not wide open, he useless because he can't. I ain't seen him done nothing with the ball ever in his life.
Or guard anybody.
Right. In Detroit, I ain't seen nothing this year.
Yeah.
They got, who else is on that bench? Patrick Patterson been playing for years. I don't know why. He's a good guy to have on the team. I feel like he's a good team.
He's got to be a glue guy.
Yeah, he's a glue guy, but the glue don't be sticking. He that Dollar Tree glue. That's the glue he is. He ain't that else. I need some helpers, and the Clippers ain't got it.
Yeah.
And the main thing they didn't fix last year, point guard.
Still, it's a gap.
Like
Patrick Beverley isn't getting any better.
Yeah, Patrick Beverley is not. He's the worst starting point guard in the league, hands down. He's probably top 5 worst point guards in the league if you really look at it. But I saw one dude playing the other day for the can't remember. Was it either the Jazz or somebody? Some point guard shouldn't be in the league. I'm gonna look him up once we're done with this, and I'm sending it to you. He was terrible, but Patrick Beverly's down there with him.
Yeah,
like he's top 5 bottom, and you didn't get better. You didn't get a point guard off the bench. You didn't get a new starting point guard. Your starters are you got a superstar in Kawhi. And you got Paul George, who is gonna be right now. He's looking good. He's looking real good right now. Last night was a bad game. I mean, you gonna have a bad game every now and then. Mm-hmm. But after those two, like I don't trust nobody. I trust Serge Ibaka, but he can't do it like how he used to do it. He getting up there.
Yeah, it's not OKC or early.
Right, he getting up there. And Marcus Morris, I'll never trust him. He's one of the players that I think that in his mind he should be averaging 25 to 28 a game.
In his mind.
But I'm like, your game is to average 13. All right,
13 and lock up.
Right, and that's what Doc Rivers didn't do a good job with last year, of like establishing like a system. That's what I'm thinking. But Ty Lue, when I saw that first game, I saw the system. He had a system. Yeah. Like people were getting shots in certain spots and at certain times. Because like last year, the Clippers would start off games. I saw a playoff game. They let Marcus Morris shoot the first 3 shots of the game. I'm saying this ain't what I want. I'm like if you're a coach, that ain't what you want. You don't want Marcus Morris taking the first 3 shots of the game. First of all, missing all of them. But that ain't. I got Kawhi and Paul George. You ain't supposed to be the one taking all the shots. Mm-hmm. So I'm more down on this year. I don't think they shoot it as well. People to last year, even last year when people talking about shooters like Landry Shamet and blah blah blah, like them are bottom tier NBA players. Y'all just saying y'all just calling them shooters because they can shoot. That's like
not because it's the truth.
Right, not because there are some knockdown shooters. They have the ability to shoot, but I'm not trusting Landry Shamet or knockdown shots. And now they got Terrence Mann playing a big role. I don't trust them.
I'm just not.
I'm not. So until they fix that point guard position, if they got a better point guard, I would have more faith in them.
Yeah.
But as long as Patrick Beverley is starting on your team, your ceiling, as Michael Jordan would say, your ceiling is the roof. Which that means you ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere.
So yeah.
And so now this is the interesting part here. Do we pivot to the Rockets? Do we pivot to the Suns?
As far as who's like their next?
Yeah, like well, just in order here, like because I think it goes Lakers. This is just in my mind, and top teams in the West. It goes Lakers. I'll go Suns. I'll just throw it out there.
As the second best team in
I'll
the
go
West?
Suns. I'll go Suns.
Okay.
I'll go Lakers. I'll go Suns. Nuggets still there. Mm-hmm. I'm undecided.
You still gotta have the Clippers up there.
Yeah, the Clippers next.
Yeah.
Clippers definitely next, and then the Blazers still there.
Yeah, they're still around. We're still around.
The Warriors aren't going to be what they are because Clay blew his Achilles out, which is crazy.
Another team out. Dallas. Like, I'm not too high on Dallas either.
Me either. They need another scorer.
Yeah.
They need another scorer. Now, if Josh Richardson becomes that additional scorer, which I'm not too sold on him. I wasn't sold on him in Philly.
Right.
But maybe Luke the Don make a difference. You know what I'm saying, for him.
Right, because when I watched them last year, I like them because they had that shooting. Mm-hmm. Like they had Seth could come off the bench and shoot, and like they could space the floor with a lot of different shooters. This year, I don't think Josh Richardson is as good a shooter. He's definitely not as good a shooter as Seth, but I don't think he's as good a shooter as people made him out to be. Tim Hardaway Jr., I don't know what his game really is. I don't know if he's a shooter or a scorer. I don't know. I still don't know his game, and I've been watching, so I don't know his game.
Yeah.
And their bench is real weak.
Yeah.
Like the Mavericks have a super weak bench, and I don't think people talk about that enough. So I'm not. And Luka, if you want to be the MVP, like he needs some help. Like, yeah, you can put up 30 and 15 and 10, but you need help to get some dubs.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you ain't get no dubs, you ain't get no MVP.
And they still missing 27 points a game in Porzingis.
Right, and he's gonna always be in and out the lineup.
Yeah,
so I'm not as high on the Mavericks as a lot of people are.
And so, actually, I'll just kind of go through the standings and like at this moment, it's only everybody's played maybe a max of 3 games. Right. At the moment, the standings it goes in order: Thunder, Pelicans, Suns, Clippers, Kings. That's a surprise. Spurs, Wolves, Lakers. The back end, 9 through 15, is Jazz, Blazers, Mavericks, Warriors, Rockets, Grizz, and Nuggets. Nuggets are winless.
And they're 0-3?
0-2.
Oh, okay. They'll be all right.
0-2. But yeah, they'll be all right. Plenty of time to turn around. But, it's some teams in here that I'm just kind of like concerned about. I know the Warriors aren't making no noise this year because they're missing another 27, 30 points a game in Clay. Plus, the Warriors actually have a lot of things to figure out too. So going forward, so let's kind of move over to the Rockets. The Rockets have pretty much been like the off-season story ever since they got off the plane from the bubble. James Harden and PJ, they pulled right up at Turkey Leg. Mm-hmm. World famous Turkey Leg Hut. Turkey Leg Hut was good. If y'all got an endorsement, holla at your boy.
Big facts.
So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Rockets, they kind of got a lot going on. I think it was, it's been another offseason where they shipped out another point guard and brought another point guard in, got rid of Russ, brought in John Wall, got rid of D'Antoni, brought in Cialis, a black coach in the league, shout out. Got rid of Daryl Morey, and I don't know who their GM is.
I think he's a black or mix. I've seen a picture of him before, but I can't think of his name.
Yeah, but Daryl Morey, he's out of the picture, so out goes the small ball, in goes more modern day. And so, yeah, so with the Rockets here and James Harden, PJ Tucker, they took a lot of heat for that. You know what I'm saying? From going from the bubble straight to Turkey Leg Hut, and as James Harden, he has that a lot. Like, right. We've seen James get eliminated, then he goes to the club and he balls out. Like, we've seen James Harden get blocked by Ginobili for a game-winning 3, then he goes right to the club. You know what I'm saying? Like,
a man can't enjoy himself after work is done.
And that's what I don't understand.
Right, me neither.
That's what I don't understand. I mean, I salute it because everybody gotta, chill out on their own time, however they prefer.
Right. And
I think what it is now, I think it's just with James wanting to go to Brooklyn or Philly, or let's just say James just wants to get away from Houston. I think that it's actually a better idea if he stays, because John Wall isn't the first 3-4 years of John Wall whenever he came into the league, like mad explosive. I don't know if he's worked on his jumper a lot because we haven't seen him really like that.
Right, like almost 3 years.
Yeah, in almost 2-3 years we haven't seen John on the floor. But they got added because they added John Wall. They got Aaron Wood. They kept Eric Gordon. They brought in another big man, but I'm drawing a mind blank here. But how do you feel about the Rockets? Because I think that they still actually have a shot if they just actually be together as a team long enough to be on the floor.
Right. When I look at it on paper, when I look at the roster, I'm like, I love it. Yeah. When I saw the whole roster, when they broke it down, I was like, oh, this talent-wise, this is the second best team in the West on paper if they played to their potential. Because I'm like, at guard, you got John Wall, all-star point guard, 20 points a game, 8 assists per game, 8 rebounds. I'm like, okay, that's good. At shooting guard, you got the best one in the league. So that's 30 points a game right there. Yep. Small forward, I don't know who they're going with. I ain't watched none of that game. So I don't know if House is starting. I don't know if they going small with Eric Gordon.
House.
But, yeah. I mean, he's good enough to be on the floor for 25 minutes a game, 20, 25 minutes. Christian Wood, the dude they got from Detroit, is hooping. Like,
underrated pickup.
Very underrated. Last year he was good in Detroit. I only know because of fantasy. He was putting in work.
Yeah.
So he was putting in work in Detroit, and I was like, okay, once Blake Griffin come back, he's gonna take from that. But they got him out of there, and the Rockets, that was a good pickup for them because he not only can he score in the paint, he can stretch the floor too.
Yep.
And that's what Houston, that's what they love to have, that space
known for.
Right, that spacing. So if you got Harden and John Wall slashing, and you got some bigs that can step out, I mean, they can hard to guard.
Yeah.
Because you can't stop Harden 1-on-1, number one. I don't care who you is. Number two, John Wall, when he right, like, you can't stay in front of him
at all.
At
all.
So that's good. And then Big Cousins, that's 20 and 10 right there. If he played even 80% of 75% of DeMarcus Cousins, you still getting somebody that's 18 and 10, a couple assists, blocks a game. Yeah. Then the bench, like, they can play multiple ways too. The bench, because you really can go small if you want to. I can put Tucker at the 5 or at the 4, let him stretch the floor, do his thing like he did last year. You got Eric Gordon come off the bench. They bench. McLemore still on the team. Hopefully he keeps up what he did last year.
Yeah.
Last year was his best year ever. So if he can play at least to that, they'll be okay with that. And I can't remember who else they got on the roster, but when I looked at it, I was like, this team, I'm like, they deep. And they can beat you with multiple ways. They can shoot the ball, they can get to that lane, and like that's the two best things you need to do in the NBA is get to the foul line, shoot that three.
Yep.
If you can do them two things, you're gonna always be able to win.
You're gonna be straight.
Right.
You're gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that the Rockets, you know what I'm saying, I think they eventually will be okay. They just need a little, they need a bit of time just to all be together. You know what I'm saying? Just to go out there and go hoop. And it's a few cats. Like, they played 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They really played 9 people Saturday against Portland. So
they put in work against and Harden. No matter even all that stuff they talking, he didn't do this. He don't want to be there. I'm like, y'all saying he ain't working out or none of that. First game he come out, he dropped 44 and 17. I'm like, it's maybe 2 people in the world that can do that without putting in no work besides James Harden. That's Durant and LeBron. They're the only 2 people who probably can go off like that without putting in no work in the offseason. So I don't care what y'all say. If I'm Houston, I'm not trading James Harden for nothing. Like, you got to give me a big bag. I need multiple All-Stars for that because, like, you just don't trade somebody that good for nothing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And so and they still have a few other pieces down there too. As I'm like kind of going through their roster here, like, it's some names I don't recognize off the top. It's J. Tate, D. Nwaba. I think I remember Nwaba. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. Forgive me.
I think I forgot. He got to be like a rookie or something.
And then S. Brown, B. Thomas, B. Cabocolo.
He is very underrated.
Yeah, so I mean, it's some pieces here. So, but I think the Rockets, they'll still be a-okay. In whenever it comes down to playoff time, I think they still get into the playoffs and they'll be good. And which leads me to the Suns. The Suns is one of the teams I'm most excited about because one of my homies, he does hoop for the Suns, and I'm just happy to see him out of Detroit and now in Phoenix, where he has the point guard leading the floor with Chris Paul. D-Book is one of the best scorers ever, but nobody gets a chance to really see him because he plays in the desert, and the Suns really haven't done much of shit. Not to his fault, but franchise just don't put pieces around you. Just like we saw the Pelicans barely put pieces around AD whenever it really mattered. And even if you want to go a step further, whenever the
Chris
Cavs,
Paul was here the first time.
Yeah, when Chris Paul was here the first time, they didn't. And even the Cavs never put pieces around LeBron until the second stint. But yeah, the Suns is another team I'm excited about. I think that they end up cracking that top 5. Excuse me. I think they end up cracking that top 5 in the West, and I think they end up taking Dallas' spot unless Porzingis comes back post All-Star and really just gives people buckets. But yeah, so that's how I see it there. The Nuggets are still going to be good. I would love to see Michael Porter I feel like Michael Porter doesn't have any, how can I say, floor awareness. I think that's the best thing. Or let me just say basketball IQ. His basketball IQ offensively definitely needs to be improved because I feel like in the bubble, I saw him shooting I saw him shooting some ridiculous jumpers and taking some terrible shots in critical moments. And,
right.
you know, I respect it. Some people want to be the man. I get it, and I respect it. But when you got Jamal Murray over there breaking boys off for 40 plus multiple times in a week, and you got Joker over there breaking boys off with triple doubles. You know what I mean? Like I think you sometimes you got to play third fiddle, my boy. Sometimes you just got to. So that's how I think. That's how I see it with the with the Nuggets, and a team that I'm really interested in because I really want to support them. I really do. But the Pelicans just don't. They don't do it for you. It don't do it for me. It's Stan Van Gundy. Yeah. The fat Van Gundy is in New Orleans, and that's like, yeah.
He's the better of the, and to me, he's the better of the Van Gundy coaches.
Uh-huh.
The other one was a better commentator, but this one, I think he's the better coach.
Yeah, for sure. So it's just kind of like I'm just kind of looking at it, and I'm like, okay, well, they got their breaks changed on Christmas, but that's more due to the Heat were just red hot in the first half. Well, let me scratch that. Duncan Robinson was red hot in the first half. He had like 6 threes against the Pelicans on Christmas, and they never could recover from that. So the Pelicans is a team I'm interested in. I'm glad they did the right thing and paid that man and Brandon Ingram.
Yes, sir.
You pay that man. You make sure that he stay in the city. And so, what you think about the Pels going forward this year?
I need to see more of them, but I like their starting. I like their starting five. It's just their depth is always like their depth this year. It ain't really good. Like once you get past that starting five, you're looking at the first big man you bringing off the benches, Nico Melli. I'm like, come on.
Goodness.
I saw him shoot 2 threes the other game. I'm like, come on.
Right.
I'm like, Coach, that ain't the play. That ain't the play we draw up. 3 for Nico Melli, fresh off the bench. So him, Jackson Hayes got the athleticism, but he's young, and he's another one of the players who needs to work on their basketball awareness.
He reminds me of Tyson Chandler, but that's
very raw, not as athletic Tyson Chandler. Yeah. So yeah, he needs some work. Who's the other guy? Nickeil Alexander last year had some good moments, especially early in the season. I think he needs to step his game up if they want to make some noise. He should be the person to come out the bench trying to average a good 15 points a game for you.
Absolutely.
He got the skills. He just needs to hone them and put them to work. Like they got JJ Redick coming off the bench, which is always good. You always need that shooter. I would put him in the starting lineup personally.
Same.
Even though he's older, that shooting
and he's leader. He's a leader.
That shooting is what you need when Zion's on that court at all times. Zion and Ingram, because Ingram can shoot, but he's not there yet as consistently. Even though his shot was way better last year, and he improved that range. But if you I watched him this year, and last year's game went up a level. This year, you can still see like it went up even more. Like he's just a better basketball player, period. He knows how to get to his spots.
Yep.
His moves have gotten better. His handles gotten better. His jump shots gotten better. He attacks the rim, even though he only like 190. If that, he attacked the rim, he can finish. I love Brandon Ingram. What I'm seeing from him. The thing I don't understand how the Holiday Ball backcourt didn't work better last year
because they're great on defense.
Right. They're great on defense, and they should have been getting out on a break at all times. The whole team should have been just running the whole time.
All year.
So I don't know how that didn't work. Maybe just off the system they was in. But I like what I've seen from Stan is like he's giving them a lot. He's giving his players a lot of confidence and a lot of freedom to do certain stuff. I mean, I've seen Eric Bledsoe shoot a lot of threes already this year. Like in transition, he's shooting them. Lonzo's pulling up and shooting them
with confidence.
Right. Josh Harden's coming off the bench. He's getting some shots up. So he's like enabling them. He's like to play more freely. But also in the half court, they got a lot of better sets now to where Zion is getting a lot of better stuff around that rim where he needs to be. And like their half court sets have gotten a whole lot better. Just in them 3 games, 2-3 games I've seen, their half court sets are getting better. So they're gonna be fighting for them between that, I give them that 6 to 8 spot because I think they're doing like a 7 to 10 playoff something
tournament. Yeah, they brought the playing back.
Yeah, so the Pelicans gonna be down there at the bottom. They gonna be fighting though. It ain't gonna be easy. And I also think I know you like the Suns, but I saw them play. They got issues outside of Chris Paul and Booker. They got too many issues. DeAndre Ayton, he got the talent, but he started playing basketball late. So his development is going to be a whole lot longer than some of these other young big men in the league. Like I saw him, I was like, oh, he got the athleticism, he got the speed. Like, yeah, he can block shots, but he doesn't have the IQ. He ain't been playing long enough.
Facts.
It's certain stuff, like when you play basketball long enough, you just feel certain stuff.
Yeah.
Like on the court. And he doesn't have that awareness yet. So he gets in a lot of foul trouble early, and then they got to go to the bench early, and now they bring in the boy from Scotlandville, and he ain't been in enough games to where he got his reps up to where he's a viable sub. So they got a lot of issues.
They got question marks.
They got question marks. Besides those two guards, then those forwards are coming off the bench. Sarge and Cam Johnson.
Sarge ain't never been in.
I don't trust him.
Yeah,
I just don't trust him.
Sarge ain't never been in, and I saw it in Philly, and it was even worse in Minnesota. But I think the Suns, I think they'll be able to weather the storm a little bit. I think that they're more so on the side of the outscore you instead of beat you defensively. Because I just kind of look at how like they roster set up with. I see mad scoring all around. Chris gonna give you anywhere in between 20 to 30 on a regular.
But I don't know because I've watched him and I know it's early, but we forget Chris Paul is 34, 35. LeBron's 36, so Chris Paul is about the same age. So yeah, 35. So he's getting up there. He ain't the same. He can blow by you, Chris Paul. Now, if he average 18, maybe. I don't know if he's getting to that 20, 21 point that he was at like a couple of years ago. Yeah. So that's the thing I'm hesitant on about them. And that's why I like my Portland Trailblazers a whole lot more this year because, I think it's almost our time, hopefully.
I hope so. I love the Blazers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely do love the Blazers. The Blazers is one of those teams that they've always just been right there. You know what I mean? Like, the Blazers have always been like
we're going to be around that 5 seed.
Yeah.
That's what we stay. We're going to stay around that 4-5 seed. We're going to either host the playoffs, host the series, or we're going to be on the road. But we going to 4-5? Oh, we in that.
Yeah, y'all in the mix, always.
Yeah,
always.
This year, I like the fact that we picked up Covington stolen from Houston. I don't know how we stole him. I didn't know we had him. Stole him from Houston.
He didn't want to be there.
Stole him from Houston. Got rid of Whiteside, so we ain't got him in the locker room tearing stuff up and not playing defense. Like not playing defense and not giving nothing on offense. So I like that pickup Covington because he can guard them threes, he can guard them fours. Some of them he can space the floor. He's a better defensive option than Carmelo Anthony and a better 3-point option than Carmelo. So that's the way we can just have Melo coming off the bench and you just hit for buckets. You come off the bench for buckets, y'all can play together because he can guard them threes when you can't because you can't move no more.
Yep.
Dame and CJ going to always give you buckets. Trent Jr. He's starting to shoot. I saw Simons making some threes.
Trent Jr., he was another one in the bubble that went crazy.
Right. Yeah. The guy he can shoot that good because he played at Duke and that system wasn't for him, but he's a better NBA player than the college player.
Yep.
But Big Nurkic is back. Nurkic is back healthy. Zach Collins, I think he coming back soon. Picked up Harry Giles, another young athletic big. So I like our chances this year. Still think the Lakers gonna mop the floor with us, but I think we can make it to the Western Conference Finals and lose it ain't going past 6. I'll give us a loss in 5 if we get to the conference final.
I like it a lot. You know what I'm saying? And so,
but next year, our year, LeBron. Well, after LeBron went number 6, then it's our time.
And you know what? That's exactly where I was going next because this is what I forgot to mention about the Lakers. We're gonna double back to the Lakers real quick, and more so just on LeBron. Mm-hmm. LeBron has 4. 6 isn't far away. Like,
right.
Like
he can grab it now.
He can, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know it's this group of people, the Jordan stands that are 6-0 is always 6-0. Like, but Bron went to how many finals in a row? Like, was it eight in a row? And he didn't play against scrubs, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, who was really on like the Suns team when Jordan played against them was really just breaking boys off?
You're right, because obviously they had Barkley with MVP, and they had Kevin Johnson was a nice player. People say he should be in the Hall of Fame. He was averaging 20 around that time. Dan Marley made some shots, but if you put Dan Marley in the league right now,
what is he doing?
Is he looking on?
Thank you. Yeah. So I mean, like, but that's a whole different tangent and argument about like Jordan's competition in the finals and Bron's competition in the finals. And if you ask me, I think Bron has had the hardest road to 4 championships ever. He played against all the best Warrior teams. He's played against really good Spur teams. He's played against the Heat champ. Beating the Heat wasn't the best team, but I think the circumstance is even wilder to have it was like a month and a half break of basketball.
It was longer. It was like 5 months.
Okay, it was 5 months. Yeah,
my
mind is clouded.
Yeah, it was a long. 2020 was a long year. It was a long time.
So, to be hooping, to be playing the best basketball that you have played as a team, then to stop playing, then to restart playing in a one location.
Yeah.
And to continue to fight for social justice and to be a beacon for social justice and to push the issue and to constantly not back down. You know what I'm saying? To not shut up and dribble. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Last year's championship for Bron was really, really good. But, going back to the topic, like, Bron get into 6 or possibly get into 6. Do you think that those people move the goalpost again? Or do you think they finally give him, like, 1B?
They gotta move. You just gotta move it. Some people are just gonna stand with their guy no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, if you ask certain people from back in the older days, they probably still tell you Kareem or Magic Johnson was the best player they never seen. And they just saw Kareem, Jordan, Dr. J. They ain't seen all of them. And even right now, they watching LeBron. They'll still say, "Oh, but he ain't no Kareem, or he not no
Olajuwon,
right? He not no
Magic."
Some people gonna ride with their guys, but I think you have to. People are judging LeBron's career off of now. I mean, you're supposed to judge it off of now, but I also be looking at it kind of down the road. I'm like, when he's done, where he's gonna be at.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, when he's done, if you look because if you pull out the basketball record books, once LeBron is done playing,
he's gonna have them all.
His name will be in there a whole lot. And if kids pull it out, they will be like, "Man, this LeBron James dude, his name on every page, and he number one on a whole bunch of stuff."
Assists,
and not in just regular season, playoffs stuff too. Playoffs, he probably number one. He gonna be number one everywhere. Probably except maybe not blocks and probably not steals, but. He might be up there and still too, but he gonna be up there.
Yeah,
he gonna be number one on so much stuff when he done playing. It's gonna say, and then all the statistician nerds, they bring out the first player to do this, first player to do that. He's been the first player to do a lot of stuff. All those thousands of points. So who first to 10,000? LeBron. First to 20,000. Quickest to 30,000.
Quickest to
LeBron. All that he got all that.
Yeah.
So when you look at once he's finally done, if he gets to 6. If let's say he wins the next 2, so that'll be 6 and he'll be 6-6, so he'll be 500. That means he's played,
and he didn't take any years off.
What year this is? This is your 18 for LeBron. Yeah, this is your 18 because that's your 7. So 18, so 19. That'll be 20. So that means he'll win 12 times in 20 years. That's over 50%, close to 60% of the years he's been in the league. He's been in the finals. So at least every other year he's been in the finals. So if he's not there this year, that means he was there the next year.
Facts.
So when you look at it on paper and statistic wise, it ain't no debate. The only thing you can say is after, but Jordan does have had individual accolades that still over LeBron, like those 5 regular season MVPs. That's still more than LeBron, even though LeBron would have got number 5 last year. Yeah, if he would have finished right.
Yep. I don't like that. I don't like that they gave it to Giannis.
He got that.
It is what it is.
He got that. He's still undefeated.
I can't wait to shit on the Bucks.
He's still 6-0, even though Jordan. That's the thing. People always say Jordan 6-0. Like Jordan played 13 years in. Not 30. I ain't gonna say 13, but from 85 to 90. When he left, 98.
96.
98. But when he was done with the Bulls, that was 98.
All right, yeah.
So that's 13 years, but he didn't play really 2 and a half. He didn't play those 2, so that's 11. Then 1 year he got hurt. So I'm gonna give him 11 years.
Yeah.
So I'll say he went 6-11. That's great. That's great too. But it's like people just forget those 5 years that he didn't win, especially like early in Jordan's career in those early 80s.
They brush it under the rug.
That's the thing that's the only thing I don't like about Jordan argument is they sweep a lot of that stuff under the rug. They'll sweep that on the rug, but they won't give LeBron. They won't look at LeBron's situation and be like, they judge his situation off results, not off what actually, like if you watch what actually happened. I'm like, y'all judge him for losing to the Spurs in 2007.
Yep.
Look at his roster.
I think, and you know what? I think that's what it is. Like a lot of people, they judge LeBron or they measure LeBron off of
Jordan's undefeatedness.
And what he's done off the court, like, oh, he went and joined his partners in Miami, versus where they look at Jordan and they be like, he stayed and then he stuck it out, and it's like, no, like the game is meant to evolve,
right?
Like everything is meant to evolve, everything's meant to change, and so, I mean, and on top of it, if Bron wins MVP this year, wouldn't he be the first one to win MVP in multiple conferences?
No, Kareem. Kareem
Okay.
was the Bucks and the Lakers.
Anytime you're next to Kareem, you're doing pretty good.
But he also would be obviously the first to win with 3 different teams.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna be number one. He's the first to do a lot. He's the first. What he is the first to win? No, he's not the first to win the finals in both conferences. Kareem did that as well. But like he's been the first to do a lot of stuff. But I can't wait till one day when me and you have this sit down again and we visit. We gonna do when we do the whole however long about the Jordan versus LeBron. I got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I got a lot of ammunition. I mean, I love Michael Jordan.
Thanks.
Like I love Michael Jordan. If I had one game, I'm picking him over LeBron.
Same.
Even though I think if I had to do a season, I'm taking LeBron because I think LeBron will give me more wins. But if I had one game, I'm taking. But if I had one game, I'm taking Jordan. This is how I'm wired. Yep. This is how I look at it. But when we look into the argument, and I pull out some, we go dive deep into how Michael Jordan ended up like 6-0 and getting to those. People gonna be shocked.
Yeah,
people gonna be like, it's gonna open some eyes.
Yeah, it's real.
In some years.
It's real questionable because Utah, okay, tough team, air quotes. The Supersonics, GP, Sean Kemp,
Hershey Hawkins. Okay, they can score.
You know, the Suns.
They can score.
All right. The only real team, maybe the Lakers, and that's the back end of Showtime.
The back end of Magic. And the early black.
But yeah, you know that's fun.
I don't want to get too, because I can go real deep right now, but I don't want to get too much. Because I got some ammunition that I know people ain't heard, so we just gonna. That's
a story for another day. That's a story for another day.
What about the Eastern Conference? We ain't talked about them at all.
Eastern Conference here, right? And Eastern Conference. I don't believe in the Milwaukee Bucks. I still don't. Okay. I still don't. And you know what? Let me rephrase that. The Bucks are a better team, but I don't believe in Giannis in particular. I feel like Giannis is one of those dudes too who's still kind of learning how to play basketball, and he's gotten a lot better. He's gotten a lot better over the course of every single season. Every single year he's gotten a lot better. Mm-hmm. However, I don't sense the kill gene in Giannis. The kill gene that, as we talked about Brandon Roy, he got it.
Yeah.
The kill gene, Kobe had it. Rest in peace. the LeBron gene, or just the gene to make the correct play, whether if it's score or pass to the open man, or pass the open man open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just don't sense that from Giannis, so I don't really see that. The Bucks would be my. I'll put the Bucks as the third best team in the East. I still have them behind. I have them behind Brooklyn as 1. I have Boston at number 2, and I have Philly at 4. And I would still, you know what? I'll put Toronto at 4. I'll put Philly at 5 because I don't believe in Philly. I just don't believe in Philly, and I feel like Toronto is still. I feel like Toronto is Spurs East.
Okay.
And even losing Serge, I think that they'll even figure it out, and to be able to kind of like put the correct pieces together on the floor. So my surprises in the East would be, I want to put the Bulls in there so bad, but we're just such a bad team. The best things that we have going is our commentators and Kobe White, and hopefully a healthy Zach LaVine. So if we
love y'all. I love some of y'all. I love y'all young talent. I don't know who's the coach and who's coach. Oh, Billy Donovan.
Billy Donovan.
I love the young talent y'all have. That's all I can say.
That's it.
I love the young talent. I don't know what that means.
And that's what a bust. That's what a bust
out. They can. The Bulls funny. They can end up either 17 and whatever with 7. They can either end up with 17 wins, or they can end up with 42 wins,
43 wins.
Like they're anywhere between that. That's what I see the Bulls as.
Same.
So that's how I feel about it.
Same. And that's just with how they are wired there. I don't see them. I don't see anything really changing for the Bulls because it's continuous pain. It's continuous pain. Some other teams that I think that would be surprising there in the East. We spoke about the Magic. I like the Magic a lot.
Me too.
I'm interested in the Hornets. Can't stamp them yet, but I'm interested in them. Another team out there is I don't like the Pacers. I just don't. I really don't. And I don't like the Wizards either. But, another good team would be, Atlanta. I got Atlanta. I like Orlando. And I like Charlotte. So those are my bottom 3. But let's just start with Brooklyn. What are your thoughts about Brooklyn? Well, let's back up a little bit because I started to shit on the Bucks. So let's talk about the Bucks here for a second. Well, yeah. What you got for the Bucks?
Yeah, like you said, you are high on Giannis. I'm still indifferent. I love the thing about Giannis. I do love his mindset. Like I feel like he does have the I want to beat people mindset. Like he has the I want to win mindset, and he has that. Like whatever it is that competitor, he has the competitor in him.
He does.
Now the game is where he needs that work. But I think I was listening to somebody and they say, is it possible Giannis plays out of position? And so I went back and I watched him play and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he's more effective when he's dunking the basketball.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want Giannis dunking and slashing. So they was like, are there really any centers anymore? Like any big centers are just going to be under the goal, like how any Alonzo Mournings or Mutombo.
Facts.
The regular center, how he used to be a big 7-footer just under the goal.
Yeah, the ankles.
Yeah, they were like, there's not really any more of them. So there's like, it's kind of like a power forward center now. But Giannis Giannis should be used more like a center instead of used as a guard, like how they use it. He's on the perimeter too much.
He is.
He doesn't have the passing skill, the decision making to be outside of the paint making decisions like that. He's not that good of a passer, and he doesn't have that natural pass instinct. Whatever it is that passers can, the stuff to pass, like how you said, how LeBron passes people open.
Yeah.
Giannis don't have that, and he doesn't have that. The passing period, he don't got it.
It's not that.
He's not that good of a passer. Yeah, he averages assists, but he's not a person that can pass you open. He's not the person that sees the rotation or whatever or knows where you're supposed to be at. He don't got that passing ability. His most effective thing offensively is him dunking. So I need to be having stuff where he is dunking. So I need him as close as possible to the goal. Therefore, I need him to either A, post up, or B, be a screener and rolling. I know he don't want to do that. I know your superstar doesn't just want to be the person that I just screen and dunk and looking like Tyson Chandler. That's fine. But if you want to use him at his max potential, he doesn't need to be shooting nothing outside of 12 to 15 feet. I don't need him shooting that. The only way he can shoot a three, we got to be up by a lot. It's early in the game. He wide open or something. I'll let you. You can shoot a corner three or three. You can shoot a three, but at certain points of the game, if I want him to be as effective and as dominant as I know he can be and as I've seen him be, it's when he around the goal. Mm-hmm. So he don't need to be working on his post up from like Anthony Davis does posting up at about 15 to 18 feet. Yep. He posts up there because he can make that shot if he's forced to shoot. If he can't get to the goal, he can make that shot if he's forced to shoot it. Giannis, you can't make that shot.
You can't do it.
I don't care if you shoot 10,000 shots a day, Giannis, for the next 2 months. That shot ain't going to be for you yet.
It's not you, playboy.
Right, so I need you as close to the rim as possible. I need you to post up where Shaq posts up. I need you to be the first one running down the floor, not with the ball in your hand. Now, if you get a rebound and take off, fine, that's an advantage. But if I get the rebound, I need you to run into the front of the rim like how Dwight Howard used to do when he first got when Orlando used him right. Just go early in transition, run right under the rim. I just need players for Giannis to be right under the rim so I can have him dunking and grabbing offensive rebounds and dunking. And then from there, you can pass the ball out of the post when you get the overseam. You can pass the cutters. It's a lot of stuff you can do. That's one thing people forget. It's a lot of stuff you can do from the post. Like,
absolutely.
You just don't have to be outside on the perimeter to make stuff happen. You can make stuff happen in the post. Like my little small self, I'm 5'5". It was times where even in pickup games, recreational games, or in real games, I would love to get down in the post. Like there was times where I went and got in the post myself just so you can see stuff from a different angle.
See it from a different
point of view. You can see the floor from a different angle. You cause the defense to think, oh, what the heck is this little 5'5" dude doing posting up under the goal? I'm not down here to score. Now my driveway, I done worked on some hook shots. I ain't going to try them in the game. I know better than that. Right. But I'm down here to get different looks. I'm down here to see what the court looks like from here. I'm trying to see, is the backside open? Are they cheating from the top of the key? Can a cutter come down? It just gives you different looks, and that also helps you from you seeing it from that way. Even if you're trying to score, that from you seeing it from right there, that helps you as a passer. Because if I'm outside, now I know what it looks like on the inside. Exactly. I know what it looks like on the inside. So I know if I pass it down here and I cut here, I know if I was him down there, this is what I would be looking for. Yeah. So it's just like that's what people don't understand. Like that's one thing Giannis, Coach Bud, and all those assistants need to do. Put him in the post. And put him in the post and show him how valuable you can be in the post. Go watch some old Chris Webber.
Thank you.
Go watch some KG when he was passed. Go watch Tim Duncan.
Timmy.
Just watch. Yeah. If you just watch, you don't need to watch everybody. You don't need to watch everybody. Get you two. Shaq only had like 3 or 4 people he said he would watch as big man. Yeah. Get you like 2 or 3 players to watch and just see what they did and how they did it, and just add that to what your natural ability is, and Giannis will be a monster. He would really be, quote unquote, the best player in the league, or he'll be the MVP again, but he'll really be like the best player in the league if he just studies the game, if the coaches put stuff around him for him to be more successful.
And on top of that too, like with you saying that saying that Giannis does play on the wing and outside, that takes a lot from Chris Middleton.
Right.
That takes, and granted, Chris Middleton was an All-Star 2 years ago. Off the strength. He was
All-Star last year. I think he was All-Star last year and the year before, if I'm not mistaken.
But I think his game would just go to another part of Chris's game would be unlocked if Giannis goes down to the block, right. Because, like you say, just setting screens like backdoors that opens up all your shooters. I just looked up their roster: Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday. It's DiVincenzo,
White Dante.
Yeah, you got Connaughton. He's a shooter. Even though he was in the All-Star game for like dunking and all that kind of stuff, that was crazy. But I've definitely seen him shoot the 3 ball. DJ Augustine, consistent. from the 3-point, and I've seen Tony Craig knock down some good jumpers too.
Oh, they got him too?
Yeah.
So that's a good pick.
So I mean, like
Brook Lopez still shooting 3. He can still shoot a 3 whenever he straightens the floor.
That too, and Brook Lopez is still there too, and I missed him on the list. And so, but if Giannis goes down to the block and he sets those screens like you say, and even maybe not making cross-court passes or cross through the paint passes or anything of that nature, like even if Giannis were to be able to go down to the block and just
draw a double team.
Draw double teams, that's going to leave your boys wide open.
Right.
Like Drew Holiday, he's pretty automatic from elbow backward. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like elbow backward.
You have the shooters. Giannis right now makes himself too easy to guard.
Yeah, he does it to himself.
That's the problem. He does it to himself, and also the coaching does it. Coaching always plays a part in it too. If the player can't get it together, that's when the coach is supposed to step up and be like, "Look, I see the coach is supposed to know where your strengths and weaknesses are, and so do you. But they should also know that too." And I'm like, you can't. This is the NBA. You can't be able to sag off somebody 15 feet and take them out the game.
You can't.
Like that should be. That should be impossible. Especially the MVP. He's too easy to guard. Yeah. So he needs to add that. If he adds that one element, just post up. I feel it. Post up close to the goal. I feel like that'll unlock so much more of him.
And on top of that, prior to Kawhi getting to Toronto, I've seen the same defense eliminate Giannis 2 times in a row prior to Kawhi.
Every year. That's how they go.
And fast forward to current day. Like, you build a wall around Giannis and he still hasn't figured it out. Okay? MVP of the league, right? But hey, maybe that's me just being a hater.
That's the regular season. Like, it's hard to, like, people don't realize it's hard to game plan with somebody. Like, if we playing somebody different every other night, like, it's hard for me to lock in and just hone on what you do well and what your weaknesses are. 7-game series, it's all about you. Yeah. I've been watching you for the last I've been watching you for the past week before we even played. So I know your tendencies. I know what you're good and what you're bad at. So I'm just locked in on you. And it's not hard. Basketball ain't that hard to figure out, especially if you got time to figure somebody out. Oh, man. Especially if they're limited, has a huge flaw like Giannis got. Then his flaw is he don't know where he should be playing. Like, he's not playing the right spot on the basketball. That's his flaw. Not his jump shot. I mean, I don't care too much about his jump shot outside of that little 15 feet, because if you can get if you can get fouled and you can make it free throws, that eliminates all that shooting stuff. That's all I'm worried about.
That's it.
Put him under the goal and put him in the right position, a better position to succeed and to help. That would help the team, not just the team.
Facts. So, what about Brooklyn? Brooklyn, first of all, I'm happy to see KD back on the floor. Welcome back, Kevin Durant. Welcome back, Kyrie Irving. He was gone. He missed a lot of the season last year due to a shoulder injury, if I'm correct, or a shoulder procedure.
Shoulder, foot, knee. It was something, but it was always something.
Yeah, Kai always got something going on because he's one of those. He's a guard that likes to play under the rim. Like, take it from Derrick Rose, take it from Darren Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to change your game. You have to change your game if you want longevity.
That contact get real.
Yeah.
After the year, he came to the league in 2010 or 2011. Yeah, he was me. 2011, so that's 9. That's to year 10. That's a lot of bumps.
It's a lot of bumps on the body. You know what I'm saying? Especially coming into the league with bumps on your body.
Right.
So yeah, what you think about Brooklyn and with Dinwiddie just partially tearing his ACL?
Yeah, that's bad because Dinwiddie was just another extra piece, another extra score for him. That dude, he averaged 18, 19 last year.
Yeah. And
now he's coming off the bench with LeVert, and that's both of them can average. Both of them was averaging around that 18 to 20 points a game. So that's a huge blow when you losing that many points off your bench. When you losing that many points, period. But especially off your bench because I really think only LeVert can really score off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what their roster look like. I'm about to pull it up right now as we speak. But I know the starters, like with Durant and Kyrie in the East, that's gonna get you the first and second seed.
Yeah, you
because as you can see, they are pretty much both of them are unguardable 1-on-1. So to have two players that are unguardable 1-on-1 on the same team at the same time that can score from anywhere. Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to stop that because it ain't got defense. I don't care how good of a defender you are. If somebody can get buckets, they're gonna get them buckets.
Facts.
I don't care what kind of defense you play. If you ain't fouling, then the defense, and then the offense has always got the advantage. So let's see what their roster look like because they're gonna score them points. They're gonna be the number 1 or 2 seed just with them three, LeVert, Durant, and Irving alone scoring. But also that Joe Harris too.
He give boys buckets.
Very good shooter. I didn't know coming out of Virginia. I knew he was gonna be. I knew he could shoot, but I didn't know he was gonna be able to shoot like that. Like he's starting to make them threes. Like he can just catch it and fire it up when somebody coming out. He can shoot it floating to the side a little bit. Like he's a shooter. Like he's really a shooter. So
he Kyle Korver with it.
Right. They keep that floor space. They got the big man on the go, Allen and DeAndre. That's your rebounding and your rim protection.
You can swap them out. Yeah.
Torian Prince. That's just some defense off the bench.
Yeah.
Jeff Green on another team.
On another team.
Going to be the same inconsistent Jeff Green we always see. One game he's gonna have 15 and 8. This game he's gonna have 2 and shoot 1 of 11. But that's okay. We still love you, Jeff Green.
6 fouls, baby. 6 fouls.
That's right. That's my dog. He shook back from that heart stuff he had.
Shout out.
Right. I thought he was. I love
that was done.
I thought he was done. But
I thought he was done.
He's still in the league. They got Tyler Johnson still on the roster, making a whole lot of money. As a matter of fact, people forgetting Brooklyn
he got paid.
Miami gave him a big bag.
Oh yeah, he got paid.
Big bag.
Broke him off.
He's still on the roster. He at the bottom of it though, but he on the roster.
Getting him checks.
They got my boy Kurtz. He can shoot a little bit. Don't know how much time he gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But after that, Dinwiddie hurt him because they ain't got a real backup point guard except Shamet and Tyler Johnson. And Landry Shamet never liked him.
Never did.
Never liked him. I always thought this game was overrated. And Tyler Johnson, come on now.
Yeah. I guess you pick your poison, whoever playing best at the time.
Right.
Shamet or Johnson.
So it's going to be that Dinwiddie hurts him because it's going to be hard getting that offense right off that bench. But if you can just buy enough time to keep them in the game, pretty much like how Cleveland did when they had LeBron and Kyrie and Love, just
buy time.
At the bench, just buy time.
Buy time.
That's all we need. That's all you need with scores like that. All you need the bench to do is just buy time. Don't give up the lead. And try to, with the other team got a lead, just try to break into it a little bit. They just need some breaks, but they're gonna be fine. They're gonna find themselves in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure just off those two alone.
Barring injury, I think they'll be right there in the Eastern Conference Finals. And then I just can't bring myself to root or cheer for the Celtics at all. But we all know Jason Tatum breaks boys off with buckets. I think the piece is Jaylen Brown, though. I think Jaylen Brown is the actual one that determines where and how far the C's go. Because he has, going back to IQ, like he makes a lot of those, he really sees them before things happen, especially on defense.
Right.
He really sees it on defense. And I think Jaylen Brown is the piece. And quiet as kept. Do you think Brad Stevens is a good coach? Or does he just have a lot of talent?
Wow.
We'll come back to it. No. We'll circle back.
Okay, so because I just have to think of. I just have to re-jog my memory from those Isaiah Thomas days. But yeah, we can come back to it.
Yeah, we'll circle back to that. But his out of bounds plays are really good.
Yeah, because I want to talk about the Celtics now that we I want to talk about them. Yeah, they're very interesting.
Yeah, the C's
because I got some Jason Tatum hot takes. Well, I have a Jason hot take.
Let them fly.
So I think Jason Tatum can't be the number one option on a championship team.
I think so too.
I don't know if he's that good enough, especially not right now. I think there are just too many players that are better than him.
Yeah.
First of all, at his position, that I don't think if he went up with him head to head with the team he got, I don't think he could be the alpha to overcome that other team. Like if he got to play against Brooklyn, he can't be. I don't have faith in him being the best player on the court. Because for them to win, he has to be better than Kevin Durant. He's not going to be better than Kevin Durant.
Not happening.
Now, did they beat Milwaukee last year? No, they lost to Miami.
Yeah, the Celtics, the C's lost to Miami, and the Bucks lost to Toronto.
Or did the Bucks lose?
No.
The Bucks lost to Miami again.
Yeah, the Bucks lost to Miami
first. And then the Celtics lost to Miami.
Yeah, then the Celtics lost to Miami because the Celtics beat the Raptors. The Eastern Conference Finals was the Celtics and the Heat. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't think if he plays against Giannis, I think if he plays against Giannis, he could probably be the best player on the court.
I think so.
If Giannis, if his weaknesses show, but I don't think against a Kevin Durant, I don't think he could be the best player. If they get to the finals against a LeBron, he can't be the best player. If he goes against a Kawhi, can he be better than Kawhi can he outplay Kawhi in the 7-game series? I don't think he's that good enough just yet. Now his skills amazing.
Yeah. I
don't think they've just been honed enough yet. He got to still go through he's still young.
Not the right coach.
Don't do Brad like that. Brad said, I got to the conference finals once. Or was it twice? Man, he said, I got to the conference finals with Terry Rozier starting as my point guard. He said, come on now.
Scary Terry. Scary Terry.
And didn't he get that? He almost got that with Isaiah Thomas, and Jay Crowder starting. Yeah. Come on now. So I said he's a good coach. He is a good coach, but he's a good coach. I ain't gonna do Brad like that. I think his team's talent just isn't as good as some people think it is, and their roster just isn't as well put together as people think it is. It's like this year is better because oh my god, my most hated player in the NBA, Brad Wanamaker, is finally off the roster, and I know they're super excited because every time he got in the game, the other team either expanded the lead or they took the lead because Wanamaker was that trash as a point guard. He's in that bottom 5 point guard, probably the worst one in the league. He's worse than Patrick Beverley. I'm gonna throw it out there. Brad Wanamaker, you the worst point guard in the league. I saw you on Golden State shooting threes the other day. Trash. Missed all of them. He's on Golden State bench now. You see how they doing? They lost by 70 points. They can outscore by 70 points.
They got blues.
So they got rid of him. And Marcus Smart is now starting because Kemba can't stop staying hurt. Yeah. But if Kemba could ever come back and be decent, they're gonna always be in the mix. But I don't think people looking at the Jaylen Brown stuff. You're looking at Jaylen Brown. I'm looking at Jason Tatum. I don't think he can be your number one. Not yet, because I think he's just not raw. He's too raw. Yeah, he's not skilled enough yet, offensively and defensively, to be the best player consistently over those level of players. And also that big man. I like that they got. I saw them play a weird lineup. They started Tice and Tristan Thompson. I'm like, that's so. To me, I'm never doing it. Either I'm starting one or the other, and I'm definitely starting Tristan Thompson.
I'm starting Tristan.
I love Tristan. He can guard the bigs, he can guard the pick and roll. Love it. Yep. Offensive rebound king.
Yep.
I'm starting him. That's another thing they need to do too. They need to find a real power forward. They haven't had one since Kevin Garnett left. Yeah. They got Jason Tatum playing the 3 now. Last year he was playing the 4. They got him playing the 3 now, but they don't have no real 4. It's Tice. Like Tice is not a starting NBA player.
He's not. He's definitely not.
He's supposed to be a 10th, their 9th. He's supposed to be a 9th or 10th man. He's definitely supposed to be a big man coming off the bench. He's not supposed to be starting for nobody. So they need to fix that, but I don't like Boston. I don't think they win just because Jason Tatum, I personally don't feel like can be the best player for a 7-game series.
JT definitely has another level that he can tap into, and I feel like he got it. But I think it's like you say, it's about honing in and then, maybe coaching too.
I got a question for you. Swap him and Brandon Ingram. Are they the same team? Is Boston the same team? Or are they better? Are they the same? Are they worse? Are they the same? Or are they better? If you swap him and Brandon Ingram,
Boston as a team, if you swap them two, I'm gonna say with their fit, how, and I'm looking at the core, and the core being Brandon Ingram and Jaylen Brown, and then Kemba. The core being and Kemba, and the core being what it currently is. I think they'd be a better team.
So that's your answer.
I think they would be a better team, maybe not by much, but I think what I've seen from Brandon Ingram, maybe because other people on Brandon Ingram's team don't demand the ball.
Yeah.
like Kimbo or Jaylen Brown or, dear God's sake, Marcus Smart demands the ball too, which is crazy to me. But I think I think BI puts them maybe 5 wins better.
Wow, you think Brandon Ingram makes Boston 5 wins better?
5. I think it's 5 because I don't think that they would respect BI like they respect JT just off of what they've already been through.
Okay. Now, if you ask me that question, I think Boston may only be 2 games worse if they had Brandon Ingram over Jason Tatum. Mm-hmm. So that should tell you a lot. If we're having a Brandon Ingram and Jason Tatum argument, and it's not that much disparity between those two, and you look at Brandon Ingram and not say he's a top. Off the top of your head, you would say Brandon Ingram's a top 20 player, top 25. So that should tell you right there that Jason Tatum. You don't that deep down that you don't personally think Jason Tatum could be that type of guy, especially right now.
Nope.
So I just had to throw that out because Jason Tatum, I love Jason Tatum. I love his whole game, but I don't not yet. He needs those. He got to go through the grind those couple of years.
Jason Tatum is a more skilled T-Mac. More skilled T-Mac. He don't have the athleticism that T-Mac had because T-Mac was a freak. Like before T-Mac started messing up, his knees started getting messed up and stuff. He's built just like T-Mac. He scores on every single level, just like how T-Mac started off. And one thing I will give Tatum credit to is he's definitely worked on his body. Like
right.
And I think that's a cause and effect from LeBron. Like we've seen, and listeners, I'm sorry that I keep kind of like doubling this back to LeBron, but if you look at the last, let's say 7 years, LeBron has changed his body every single year. Sometime even in between the season, we've seen his body like change.
Right.
And even like regular season body Bron is not playoff body Bron. And I've definitely seen Tatum, like he's definitely worked on his body. He's definitely changed, and his skill has always been there.
Right.
He's worked on his skill. He's honed in on some of the things he's really, really good at. But I think that's just where it really stops, though. I mean, I don't think JT is like that dude. And if CC, I know you listening, and like CC is gonna like kill me for that. Like she's gonna call me whenever she is this, and she's gonna like blast me for this. But CC, it's all good. You know it's love.
But, when my cousin hears this, he lives in Boston, big Boston fan. When he hears this, he's gonna have his heart broken. But he'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Tatum, I honestly feel like he's one of those guys that if he wins one and is the best player on a championship team, I'm not gonna be surprised because I see the talent, I see it in him.
Yeah.
Just not now. But how you said that, man? That team, please, man. So you got me thinking like, was Tracy McGrady? Was he? How he was talented, but he was never one of those guys that could have been your 1A because he couldn't get out the first round with nobody he had.
Oh, with due respect, T-Mac's teammates was like, what was the dude? He had a couple white dudes.
I'm not. I'm talking about the
Rockets.
The Rockets
teammate. Yeah.
Orlando Magic teammate. I'll give him all that.
Yeah. Was it Pat Garrity?
Pat Garrity and Kelvin. Think about Pat Garrity, Kelvin Cato,
Scott Pollard,
Kelvin Cato, Daryl Armstrong. The young Hito Turk. Young Hito Turkle?
He had another white dude that was out there shooting them threes.
Man, oh my God.
That's gonna like haunt me. I'm not gonna remember. Hold on.
Because I'm picturing right now. I'm thinking about all the old 2K and live games.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I definitely give T-Mac a pass from Orlando because Grant Hill was hurt and that was supposed to be his help. But I don't give him a pass from Rockets, especially that year. One year they was up, I think 3-2 on somebody and lost in the first round, and he had Yao. So I don't give him a pass. So I would never that high of a T-Mac guy.
Pat Garrity. Bro, yeah, that's crazy.
It's another white guy. And
he had Drew Gooden as a teammate. That should tell you everything you need to know.
God.
That should tell you everything you need to know about it.
He's in my top 10 most I hated player. Drew Gooden's in my top 10.
And so just to kind of like pivot away from the C's there, and it's not really much to really cover in the East. Well, we can say welcome to the Eastern Conference, Russell Westbrook. The
rough start.
yeah, it's
last
tough.
place in the East right now.
No, actually,
that last. I looked at
we
last.
They wouldn't even put it in the alphabetical order. That's crazy. But yeah. So like the Wiz, with Beal, I love Brad Beal, but I think he should gotten up out of there and been. He should either be in a Magic uniform by now, or he should be in a Heat uniform by now. But that's just me. I don't know much of the Wizards roster to really even kind of give you any kind of like breakdown. I'll be honest.
I mean, I know the roster. It's not. I know the roster, but it's not
nothing to sneeze at or nothing to like. Oh my God! Watch out for the Wizards.
Right. They got like. I mean, besides after Westbrook, Bill. I mean, Bertans can make some threes. Thomas Bryant. He plays hard. I like his energy. What's the guy Rui from Gonzaga? Hacho, whatever his last name is. He's talented. The guy Troy Brown off the bench, he plays some good members. Other than that, yeah,
right. Yeah, so
they're gonna be fighting for the bottom.
They're pretty much the teams that we're just gonna skip over. I'll be honest with y'all. We're gonna skip over Detroit. We're gonna skip over Washington. We're gonna skip over the Bulls.
I know we're not skipping over the Knicks. That's 1 and 2.
Yeah,
skipping over the 1 and 2 Knicks.
I don't. Hey, listen. If you want to get your shit off on the Knicks, go ahead. Go ahead. Like the Cavs too. I mean, I'm surprised. I don't see much from the Cavs, but they are 3-0. And Sexton had, I think, he either had like 30 or 40 the other night. So
I'm about to say we can have a small Cavs discussion because if you look at them on paper and talent, when you put the talent together, very underrated. Because Garland, he's on my fantasy team, giving work. I don't even know him. I ain't never seen this. I saw this dude play one game ever. But he's giving work this year. They saying Sexton, obviously he's scoring a lot too. I think both of them probably averaging 20 right now. Yep. But people forgetting they got Drummond under the goal. That's an all-star center who's gonna give you 15 and 15 and 2-3 blocks a game. Yep. So you got a center. Kevin Love, I don't know if he's playing right now, but
he had 9 minutes the other night against Philly.
Okay. Yeah. They still got Kevin Love, so that's a guy who can score 15. He can get you 18 a game still, and 7, 8 rebounds probably.
Can't believe Dante Exum is still in the league, but hey, that's what it is.
Yeah, but
JaVale McGee is on their roster.
He's on the roster. Got a dunk in on SportsCenter. I saw the other day.
Check him out.
Yeah, we'll see him on the not top play. He's on the top play. We'll see him on not top play about a week and a half. Give it a week and a half.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess the Cavs.
If they had a decent small forward, I would like them, but they don't have one.
Yeah, more will unfold with the Cavs, so we'll be able to really see like where they are come, let's just say Valentine's Day. And who else? I mean, we can't not skip over the defending Eastern Conference champs in the Heat. They right back at it. They're one of those teams, and you often hear people say this about football, right? They're better than what their record is going to show. And I think that the bubble was a good example of their team. Do I believe in Tyler Hero as a perennial all-star down the stretch? No. Do I believe in Duncan Robinson as a perennial all-star down the stretch? No. Do they need another piece? Yes. But hey, y'all just heard me say Bradley Beal to the Heat. So I see y'all can't see this, but Tevin is over here like disgruntled about the Heat. Go. What's up? What's up with the Heat? You don't believe in it?
I don't believe in it. No. Last year they ran some good matchups. They played excellent defense, and they won. They won their. I'll say that they won their game.
Yeah,
that's what they did. They won the game. I don't think they were more talented than a lot of people. They weren't a better team. They weren't a better team than a lot of people, but they ended up winning their game because they executed. That's one thing they done. The Heat do very well is execute on offense, especially they execute their plays well. But this year, I think the expectation of certain players on their team, aka
Robinson,
the number one guy that people are, I feel like, expecting way too much of is this guy by the name of Tyler Hero. I like his game, but he not about to be no 25 points per game score.
Is he glorified JJ Redick?
No, they're different type of players. If I had to really, let me see, if I really had to dig deep and compare Tyler Hero to somebody, he's probably more like one of those guards that was in the early 2000s that was scoring, but like the team wasn't really doing nothing. So if you look at it, he probably was more like his effect is kind of like how Steve Francis' effect was.
Okay.
Steve Francis was on, even though he made all-star teams, but he was like a big deal in Houston. But if you look at the stats, really, his percentage was always terrible from the three and from three and from the two. His free throw percentage was terrible. He turned the ball over at a high rate, but he had those highlight plays and he could go off on certain games. And his team was always going to be, the Rockets were always fighting for like 5th, 6th spot.
The bottom stretch.
Yeah. I feel like Tyler Hero is one of those type of players. Like that's the level he would peak out for me, like Steve Francis, which ain't bad, but that's the level for me he would peak out. But he's not going to ever be one of those top 30 players in the league. I forgot when after he exploded for like 30 or 40 in one of them games, like people was going crazy.
They went nuts.
Oh, Tyler Hero, he's the one. Like, he's next up. He's gonna be this and that. I'm like, he ain't gonna
gas.
I'm like, he ain't gonna be nothing. He's the, you know what? I think he's the sorriest. He's not the sorriest. Let me rephrase that. He wants to be what Luka is, but he's not gonna ever be as good as Luka. How he tries to play and how some of the stuff he tries to do, it's kind of like that's the kind of guy he would want to be, but he will never be that good.
Yeah, Luka's just like extremely gifted.
Tyler Hero, I honestly don't think he's a starting guard in the league. But hey, the Heat do. But that's just their system. But I'm not high on the Heat. I love Bam. That's my dude. Jimmy Butler. I don't know what's wrong. Something wrong with him. Why he don't shoot threes? Why he don't attempt threes?
JB just don't believe in it. Like he's just, even whenever he was with us in Chicago, like he literally just loves mid-range elbow jumpers, long twos. Yes, the analytic people are like, it's the worst shot in basketball. If you're taking a long two, you might as well shoot the three. It's just not in JB's game. Like JB will post you up, free throw line, back you down, shoot the jumper, fade away. You know what I'm saying?
But I wonder how much does he realize that hurts his team by not attempting threes.
And that kind of leads me to the Ben Simmons thing. Like, if you just shoot 4 of them a game, it forces Terry Rozier to close out on you. It forces Kobe White to close out on you. It forces Kyrie to halfway play defense.
We're not playing 4-on-5 games.
Exactly.
Joel's not getting double teamed, and we're not going to be able to, like, when all those shooters are trying to run off screens, like, the guard can, like, hedge to that side because you're not going to shoot it, so I can hedge over here so you can't get that pass off. And which brings me to Philly, right? And I think the fun is over in Philly because Doc is there now. I think all the fun is over. Granted, and let me kind of rephrase it a little bit. I think Doc is just going to reel them back, meaning a lot of like the wild stuff that we see from Joel, it's going to go out the door now. Because Doc strikes me as more of a serious kind of coach. Yeah. I still believe that Ben Simmons needs to take jumpers. I just don't understand how you can be on a basketball floor and not shoot jumpers at all. I don't understand it, but different game than what I played now. So that's especially when everybody else is doing it. Like, might as well get you some up.
Dog, I saw Rondo the other day. I didn't start the episode, but I saw a little clip. Rondo was on All the Smoke, and he was like, they asked him, they was like, yo, like what really made you? Well, Stack and Matt Barnes, they asked him, they were like, what made you start improving your jumper in XYZ? And he was like, shit, I've seen niggas in the league shooting 3 for 17 and 5 for 15. Like,
right? What's the worst that you're Ben Simmons? Are they gonna bench you? What's the worst that can happen if you missing threes?
Thank you.
Coach just be like, dang, you missed another one. That's really gonna be it. Or your teammates might be like, dang, you missed another one. Or look at you a little funny, but you're Ben Simmons. You can miss. And you can miss shots, and nobody cares.
They're going to cheer for the jumper.
Right.
Like they're gonna cheer for the jumper. And bro, like whenever we were in BR and we went through the full LSU hype train, the Ben Simmons hype train, the Leonard Fournette hype train, and what was the pitcher? It was like Alex.
Well, we had the Bregman, the baseball player, the hitter, but we did have a hot pitcher.
It was a pitcher that was cold, but anyway, somebody on LSU's campus. I really hope that y'all shot a documentary for that, because to have those three athletes come through campus at the same time, that's something that I hope somebody shot a documentary for. However, going back to Ben Simmons, Ben not shooting jumpers at LSU, and some of the things that went on at LSU. And he never corrected them there, which is something simple. Free throws.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can just shoot free throws and your game can you like you say, if you confident in a free throw jumper, you can see the game different from mid-range forward.
Right.
If you shoot, a couple steps outside of the block, like you say, you'll see the game different.
Yeah.
But all he sees is pass and flash, and a couple dunks, and he plays pretty good defense. He plays pretty good defense, not great, but he plays pretty good defense.
That's what I be hearing. They be saying Ben Simmons is a great defender. I don't know if I just don't watch Philly enough, or I don't watch him enough individually. But I'm like, I don't know what defense y'all be talking about. Is it just because he's bigger than the people he guards?
And I think that's what it comes down to.
Oh, okay.
Because going back to your point, I've seen Jaylen Brown cook him. I've seen Jason Tatum cook him. I've seen Kawhi cook him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't see boys break Ben Simmons off like a few times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just some things that Philly just got to improve on. And I think was last year the first time Embiid finished the season without getting hurt?
I'm pretty sure he got hurt.
And
he got hurt. It was his least knit year.
Okay.
This was last year. I think this is year he had like the stomach ache or something like that. Like, but it wasn't nothing like real major.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that's really just it with the East. Is when we're not
gonna do a deep dive on Philly.
Nah, I don't have much for Philly. You got anything for Philly?
The only thing for Philly is I do. Ben Simmons and Giannis kind of the same boat, but I do feel like Ben can play on. I feel like he can play on the perimeter. He needs to be more like a LeBron type perimeter player, though. Whatever LeBron doing, that's what Ben Simmons just needs to try to do.
Yeah.
Just try to be LeBron. If he just tried to be LeBron, that win the championship. It's plain and simple like that. Whatever LeBron do, you just try to do that. I know LeBron wasn't a good shooter, but he would slash. He would at least try to score the basketball. If Ben Simmons tried to score from the basketball, I think they could win the championship. But Curry, they got some shooters now. They got Curry now.
Yeah.
They got Danny Green to spread the floor out. So they got the floor spacing. They got on paper. They got a great team that should be in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
On paper.
They
just Doc got to put it together, and B got to shoot shots under the goal and stop
shooting
threes and jumpers.
Stop shooting threes.
Play to your strength. Use your size. If he uses his size as his strength and get under the goal, Ben Simmons uses his size, his passing ability to do stuff. I like Philly if they get it together.
That's his gift.
That's the hugest if, because unlike Giannis, he got all the other stuff.
Yeah,
everything Giannis don't have, Ben does have.
It's literally like flip flop,
right,
between those two, which is crazy. And that's saying that out loud. You saying that out loud is the first time that's really registered. But yeah, Ben, and people don't realize, like, if you can pass the rock, and if you can pass the rock at that next level clip, that puts you so far ahead of other people.
Everybody is right.
You know,
he's not because like you said, he's in that passing. He's in that other level. He's in the top level as a passer. Yeah. He's not in that average passing level where I can hit you when you open. He's in that LeBron, Chris Paul. Who else is a great passer in the league? Ricky Rubio.
Yeah.
He's in that elite level of passer where I can see something before it happened, or I can pass. He's in that I can pass you open.
I can pass you open category.
And there ain't too many people but he there.
Yeah.
If he just uses that, but also try to score more, like
it's the two things that really stick out. Like, it's footwork and passing. Giannis's footwork isn't the best, but Ben's footwork is better than Giannis. And Ben's passing is better than Giannis, where Giannis's passing isn't there where Ben Simmons is. So those may be the two biggest things.
Yeah, and it's crazy. But Giannis is also more aggressive trying to score the basketball.
Yeah.
Ben doesn't try to. He don't really try to score it. But if he flipped that switch, that's going back to LeBron again. That's a thing. That's an argument against him too. Because people was like, if he tried to score like how Jordan was always trying to score, if LeBron was trying to score, they always say that he would have been the best player. That would make him the best player if he tried to score more.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think Ben, if he just tried to score more and use that passing ability and just try to score and shoot the ball.
Shoot the rock.
Just try to shoot it. You never know what can happen.
Just shoot the ball,
just
bro.
Shoot it. Just make the defense play so y'all ain't playing 4 on 5 and it ain't clogged up in that paint.
Facts. Well, yeah, man. So pretty much that really just concludes like the NBA recap for us. NFL is still unfolding. I'm glad to see not many COVID cases in the NBA. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we can finish this whole season out. We can get the All-Star break without any severe breakouts, unlike the Rockets almost had the severe case with a, massive outbreak due to Eric Gordon, not James Harden, which is crazy to me. But that's another. I was about to say something about E and put him on the spot, but I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, man. So that pretty much just concludes it. Tevin, you got anything going on? You know what I'm saying? You need let the people know where they can find you on social.
Oh man, find me at Mr. T on Twitter, and I believe that's my Instagram too. Mr. T, 2 I's, and T is TEE. Follow me on there if you want to hear some sports stuff. I also make people laugh just a little bit, I feel like. So follow me on Twitter for the most part if you want to catch me. If you want to see me, go on Instagram. I got a couple pics up there, probably from a few years ago, but I'm going to upload one soon. Show y'all how sexy I done got these last, I think I took my last pic probably 2018. I'm going to show y'all how sexy I done got these last 2 years. So yeah, man, just follow me on there, man. I just appreciate you having me again. We always chop it up like this, off camera, off mic. So it's good to just put it on wax, let the people know how we feel about this stuff, man. Can't wait to do it again, bro.
Yeah, most of people don't know that though. Like even whenever it's like random thoughts will just go through my head about like hoop and stuff, I either call you or I shoot you a text. You know what I'm saying? And we'll fall off in the episode for 20, 30 minutes. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this is like genuine like conversation. That's really what it is. But yeah, T, it's always good chopping it up with you, dog. And and I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this episode of the Perspective Podcast with my guest Tevin. And until next time, you guys, I want to remind y'all that the hat store is still open. Finessing since '93. You can grab hats, beanies, face masks. I got them all right now. And make sure y'all slide over there and visit the YouTube channel, which is Marty Manziel, as we're getting ready to start uploading some visuals here for the podcast really, really soon. Thank y'all for tuning in to these podcasts, wherever you listen to, Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, wherever you listen to them to. Share it with a friend. Share it with your lady. Share it with your homie. Listen to it while you're on the road or whatever the case is, while you're cooking or working out, whatever it is. Until next time, y'all. Peace, love, and always. Peace and love as always. And until next time, y'all, be easy.